The topic is try with resources. So for that, first of all, I'll explain what are resources. Then what is the use of finally block, why we need finally, what is the importance. Next is try with resources, and it is a new feature in Java. This is introduced in version 1.7. Let us learn about resources. Here I have a diagram. See, this is the main memory. When we run our program, programs will be running inside main memory and the CPU will be executing the program. So here Java program runs inside JVM and JVM will get them executed. I'm not showing JVM in the picture. Let us look at the program only. Here is our program code. Now the program uses the memory in the form of the stack and heap. We already know about it. So the program and its stack is one entity. This is the actual program. This is the actual program, or this is called as the context of a program. Context, its own area, its own boundary. Outside that boundary is external. Everything is external for the program. So heap, yes, heap is not a core part of a program. It's external to the program. Every object in Java is created in heap. Yes, it is created outside. That's why we have references to the objects. So it's outside. References will be accessing everything from heap. Objects, every object is in heap. So heap is like a resource. Yes, outside. So it's resource. So all the things that are outside the program are resource for a program. So heap is a resource. Other example diagrams, let us look at. Keyboard is a resource, mouse is a resource, and this monitor is a resource, printer is a resource, hard disk, that is file is there, or there may be database also, so that is also a resource. That's not a part of a program. External program will access it, so it can write or read from the file. Network connection, accessing anything in network, that is also a resource. So anything outside the program is a resource. Just imagine that you are in a college and a lot of resources are available in a college, like book is available, apparatus or equipments are available, devices are available. So if you are studying in a college, you can borrow a book if you are studying, and you should return it when you have finished using that book. You can take a device and do some experiment, do some work, and you should return it once you have finished using it. So all the facilities are available in the form of resources, and the method of using the resources, the procedure is, when you need, you should request and take them, and when you don't need, you should return them. So here also the same method program should follow, same policy it should follow. Whenever it requires a resource, it should take a resource, acquire a resource. When it doesn't need, it should return it. It should return it. If it is not returning it, then what's the problem? See, if I take a book from the library, now I don't need, if I don't return, then library people thinks that still I am using it. They don't know I am not using it, right? When I am not using it, it's my responsibility to return it back. So same way, the program is not releasing the resource or closing the resource, then it means the program is still using it. This is one of the major issues in programming. So resources, when required, you should acquire them, and when you don't need, you should release them. So if you are making an internet connection or network connection, you connect. When you don't need, close it. You open a file. When you don't need a file, close it. You are forming and establishing a connection to the keyboard, use it, and when you don't need, close it, right? So all these things, when you want, you connect and use. When you don't want, release it. So same way for the heap also we should do it. So when we want anything in heap, any object in heap, we say new, yes. Then we don't want, we should delete it. So you know well that in Java, the heap memory objects are deallocated automatically by garbage collector. Because it's a serious issue in programming, so Java has built-in garbage collector to clear these resources. But what about rest? Programmers should do this. When you don't need, close them. So I will take the example of a file, open a file and close the file, and using the file I'll explain you rest of the things, that is what is the use of finally and try with resources, these two things. So once again, the important thing we learn here is that Whenever you want to take a resource, acquire it. When you don't want, close it. Otherwise, it is believed that it is with the program only, program is still using it. So finally, let me repeat the points I have discussed. When a program needs a resource, it should acquire it, like taking a book from the library. And if it is not required, it should release it, like returning a book to the library. If you don't return, it is believed that program is still using the resource. So if you don't return it, it is believed that you are still using a book and it cannot be issued to any other student. So same way, resource cannot be used by any other program. So the program should release it so that it can be used by other programs also. And if it require, again it can acquire it. It can acquire whenever it require. So it should not hold it unnecessarily. Now let us see what is the use of finally. Here I have an example for explaining why we need finally. So let us look at the example. I have a method 1, and it throws exception, means it's not handling exception. If there is any error, it will throw it. So whoever is calling this method should have try and catch for handling this exception. We have already seen in the previous videos. Then let us see what this method is doing. It is opening a file. There are some classes for accessing file in Java, like file reader is a class. File reader F, new file reader, file will be open and the file name is my.txt, txt text. So it is used for reading now from the file. Now here in this statement, I am using the file. Here I am opening the file. Here I am using the file, accessing the file. What all I want to do, I will do that and I will close the file. And this method returns. Returns means it will return the result and the method terminates here, right? This is the termination point of a method. It returns the result to the calling method. All right. So this is about the program. Now let us see the problem. If the file is not available, file not found exception. If file is available but handling the file, using the file, there may be some exception. Right, interrupted exception, IO exception, some IO exception may be there. So if there is a possibility of error in this line and this line, that is, there is a possibility of exception. Now, in case of exception, what happens? Or no exception, what happens? Let us learn both the, right? So first I'll show you if there is no exception, what happens. Quickly let us look at. It will open the file, use the file, close the file, return the result. So everything is smooth. In case of exception, what happens? It will open the file, use the file, there is an exception, it stops the method here and returns to the calling method with an exception. So what about these two lines? They will not get executed because a method can return a result or throw an exception. So it is throwing an exception. So in case if there is an exception, it will not execute these lines. Now, the other problem. If this line is not executed, file is not closed. File is not closed means resource is not released. Who acquired the resource? Method 1. Does the calling method knows that it has acquired the resource? No. Then who will close this file? Nobody from the program. Then the program will still holding that file without releasing it. So this cleanup, this is called as cleanup. Cleanup is not done. Closing the file is not done. So we want to make sure that cleanup is always done. Then what to do? See this now. I will change the code. I will write try here, right? Try. I don't need to catch because I am throwing an exception. So write just finally. So in finally, write down f dot close. No need of f dot close here. No need of here. Now this will work. Let us see now how it works, how cleanup works, finally works. First I'll show you without exception, then with exception. Right, there is no errors. File is open, file is used, return the result. But before returning, it will execute finally block. So close the file and then return the result. So this will definitely get executed, right? So because finally is there, so return means going to the calling method. Before going there, first it will close this one. This is in case of no exception. Next, in case of exception, file is open, file is being used, there is some exception. Close, then throw an exception. So before throwing, first of all, it will close the file. and throw the exception. So this part will definitely execute, and it makes sure that the resources acquired in this method are being closed properly or cleaned up properly or released properly. That's it. That's the exact or actual purpose of finally. Now we will see the new feature, that is try with resources. So we can avoid finally. Without having finally, we can just close the resources. So I will change the program and I will show you once again. Now let us look at try with resource. See, this is a try block. This is the starting point and ending point of try block. Along with the try in the round braces, that is brackets or braces, we can create a resource here itself. So I am creating a resource, file reader, f assign new file reader. Here itself you can do. If you want to open more than one resources, then you can separate them by semicolon. So just in short, for explanation, I'll write R1 semicolon, R2 semicolon. Like this, you can create more than one resources, and it will be little lengthy. So whatever it is, you can write. So you can create resources along with the try itself. Now when you are creating along with the try itself, then automatically it will be closed once the method is ending. Once the method terminates, automatically resource will be closed. Try will take the responsibility of it. So you don't have to close. So you don't need the finally block. Don't need a finally block for cleanup process, for closing the resources. That's it. This is a try with resources. Try along with resources. And in case of exception, if there is an exception here, then what happens? I am not handling the exception, so I don't need the catch block, because this method is not handling, it is throwing exception. So throws exception, so it goes to the calling method. So that's it. So there is no need of catch block. So can we write just a try block? Yes, you can write. Why it is written? For the resources to be closed, right? So try with resources, take the responsibility of closing the resource. That doesn't need catch block, that doesn't need finally block. To avoid finally block, we are using try with resources. All right. So the change in the previous example to this example is, in previous example, finally was taking the responsibility of closing resources. Now try itself is taking the responsibility. So you don't even need finally block. If you are handling exceptions, then you can have catch blocks. That's to you. All right. So catch block, writing catch block or not, it's your choice, or depends on your requirement. Now one last thing, which type of resources try will automatically close them? By itself it will close them. It should implement an interface called AutoCloseable. So closable resources, right? There is an interface, built-in interface in java.lang package, that is AutoCloseable. If it is AutoCloseable, then it will close. So in short, to make it simple for you, when you study about any resource, we have to study about file and other resources. Slowly we will be learning. So whenever you come across any resource and you found that there is a close method available in that, there is a close method available, like f.file.close is there. Is for this f.close we have to write. Close method is there means it is AutoCloseable. So try will call that method and close the resource, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's all in this video. Next video will be a demonstration on this one, so don't miss that one. You will practically see how this is done, and you have to do the same thing on your computer. So that's all. In this video, I will give demonstration for try with resources. So I will show you the program. So just watch the program, because I will be using file handling also. We have not yet discussed file handling, so you may not be able to implement the program. So just watch it. See, this is the file. I have named the file as test, and it is a text file. In this file, I have few numbers, 50, 40, 0, 30, 10. So first two numbers are non-zero and the third number is 0. So I will read these numbers from the file and I will divide them. So if I divide first and second number, I will get some result. But when I divide first number with the third number, then it will be an exception. So two things are involved in this program. I will be handling a file. So file handling involves, it's nothing but a resource. So I will be using a resource. And when I divide, I will be getting a arithmetic exception when it is divided by 0. So as I have explained on whiteboard, that resources should be closed when they are not in use. try with resources block will help us easily manage the resources, so it will automatically close them if they are closable. Now I will write on the program for reading these numbers and I will raise exception and show you. I have a class that is resources demo and also main method is there. So first of all, I will take a file input stream for opening that file. So I should import a package, import java.io package. I will take all the classes from that package. I need one more package, that is java.util. So I will include that package also. I will be using scanner for reading from the file. Now inside the class, I will create an object of file input stream. As I have to read from the file, so I will take a reference of file input stream here, file input stream fi. Now next, I will write on a method which will read the data from the file and also it will divide the numbers. I have given the name of the method as divide. So the first thing I will do here is I will open the file. So already I have a reference. Now I should create an object of file input stream and I should give the path of a file. So path of a file, already I have it, so I am pasting it. So I'm not going to show you how to get the path of this file. That is the reason I said you cannot implement it unless you know how to take the path of a file. This I will be showing it in later sections in other videos. So that time we will be doing exclusively file handling. It is showing some error here. What is the error? It says that fi cannot be referenced from a static context. So okay, I will make it as static, not a problem. This I will make it as static. So part of an error is gone. Still there is some error. What is this? Unreported exception, file not found exception. So whenever you are opening any file, you must handle file not found exception. If you're not handling, then you should throws file not found exception. I will create an object of scanner and I will give this file input stream to that scanner. Then I will read first value from the file using a scanner, next int. Then I will read second value, then third value. So I am reading 3 values. Next I will print a division of 2 numbers, that is dividing a and b, first and second value. So there is no problem in this one, it will not cause any exception. So till here program is error free. It will read 3 numbers, but it will just divide first and the second one, for which I get some result. Now from inside main method, I will call this divide method. Now once I call divide method, there is a chance of getting an exception because it is throwing an exception. So main is also throwing an exception. Already I wrote it here, throws exception. Right. If I remove this, then it will ask me to throw exception. I will remove this and show. See here it says that exception must be handled. That is unreported exception, file not found must be caught or declared to be thrown. So I will write on back. So throws exception. If I run now, I should get the result, that is 50 divided by 40. See, there are 2 numbers, 50 and 40. So 50 divided by 40 is 1. That is integer division. Now let us come to the resource. Here after printing this, I will say file input stream dot close. File input stream is close. See, for closing also there is a possibility of exception. So it's asking me to handle one more exception, that is IO exception. So what I will do is I will just make it as exception. Okay, so it will handle all type of exceptions. Now inside this method, after reading 3 numbers, I want to read fourth number inside the main method. But when the file is closed, I should not be able to read that method. So let us check it whether I will be able to read it inside the main method or not. So for that, I will declare this scanner outside so that both the methods can access it. Scanner sc. I will create a reference outside and from here I will remove this. Okay, so now this scanner can be used by main method also. So inside main method, I will read one more element from the scanner, that is next int. Then I will print that value. Oh, one more thing. I should close the file as well as I should close the scanner. So I should say sc.close. I have to close both the things. Let us run it. Oh, I got an error here, that illegal state exception for scanner. So where I am getting this error, I am getting an error inside main in line number 28. So in this line I am getting an error when I am trying to read it because I have closed the scanner as well as file. So I cannot read from the scanner. If I make this as comment, okay, I will just make scanner as comment and let us see what happens, because the scanner is attached to a file, so it can read the data from the file. Yes, I am getting the value 30 because the scanner is not closed, so it is able to read from the file. Alright, so now we are ready for try with resources. This has become lengthy because try with resources itself is a new feature of Java, and this is for reducing the complexity. So now you can see the problem is very complex, so it will simplify it. So once again we have to see the flow. See, from the main method I am calling divide method. Divide method is opening a file and opening a scanner, reading 3 numbers and dividing first 2, and then closing file and closing scanner. Then when it come back to main method, this main method is reading one more element. But as this is closed, it is unable to read. If it is not closed, it can read it. Now I will show you what happens if an exception arises. I am closing them, right? Both of them. So I should get an error. But I will use division by 0 here. I will divide A divided by C. You know, value of C is 0. You can look at the file once again. See, the first number is 50, then 40, then 0, right? So third number is 0. Then fourth was 30. So this will be division by 0. So when the division by 0 occurs, it will not close these, but it will come out of this method and it will go to main method. So inside the main method, what I will do is, I will handle that exception. Try only for divide, right? So I will handle the exception. Catch. I will directly write an exception here instead of writing any specific exception. And inside this, I will just display a exception. Now let us see what happens. See, inside this divide, this line will raise an exception, that is division by 0 exception. So after this, 2 statements are there, close. So they will not execute. So resource will not be closed, and I will be able to read the data next number here because resources will not be closed. So this is how I can prove that resources are not closed, right? So this part is not executed. Let us check. So I should get the division by 0 exception and also value 30. Yes, I got the value 30. So this means resources are not closed. Now how to avoid that? One method is finally block. So what I will do is, I will write down this entire thing inside try block, here inside the try block, and here I will use finally. So we know very well that finally will definitely execute, right? Now this will definitely execute. Even if there is an exception in this line, these two will execute. So I should not be able to read this number. I should get an exception here. Let us check. Yes, I got a message division by 0 and I got illegal state exception. The same thing I got here because I am unable to read the data from here because already resources are closed. So one more time we saw try and finally. Now let us look at a try with resources. But for try with resources, we have to limit the resources within this try block only. So definitely I cannot make this accessible. This is not possible here. I cannot access it because that is limited to try block only. Because when we write try with resources, the objects must be created only for this block and automatically they will be closed. Okay, like how we saw in finally, same thing will happen, but it is easy to write and we can limit the scope of an object or a closable resource. So here along with the try, I should create an object of file input stream. So I will write down file input stream, then I will paste this one, that is I will cut from here and I will paste it. So file input stream, this is done. Okay, so I should remove this one now. From outside I have removed it. So file input stream, there is a typing mistake, spelling mistake. Now this is perfect. So this finally block I don't need, because this closing of resources will be taken care by try only. Then there is one more resource, that is a scanner. So okay, followed by this I will create an object of scanner also. So semicolon, I should separate it by semicolon, sc new scanner, and to that I will give file input stream. So here multiple declarations, so I should remove this line and this line also. We cannot see how whether they are closed or not, because these file input stream and scanner objects are limited to try block, and we have to believe it that it is closing, just like how finally was doing. Just I will run and show you. So I get an exception, that is division by 0 exception, and believe that the resources are closed. So that's all. So I have given you a situation where try with resources is used. Later we may be using this try with resource in other topics. So that's all in this video.